Hello YouTube, this is Dragonheart and welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to talk a little bit about Rome 2 Total War, and we're going to have a little sort of, well, vlog slash faction vote page. So Rome 2, as we all know, is going to be released September the 3rd, 2013, glad I can remember that. And basically I thought it'd be a good idea to make a little video where we can talk about all the different factions that are playable, and then you guys can perhaps leave a comment at the end of the video in the comment section saying which faction you think I could play or would like to try out, and perhaps maybe even give me a reason to why you think I should play that faction. And yeah, it's basically what this video is going to be about. There'll be some images in this video as well on the screen showing different concept art and images that Creative Assembly have released for the game. And let's kick right on with it. So first of all, obviously we've got the two big Mediterranean powers, which are Rome and Carthage. Now Rome starts in the south of Italy. It has, I believe, the Etruscans in the north, and I think Sicily is sort of half controlled by Carthage and half controlled by Syracuse. So they're the main sort of starting regions for Rome. Carthage, on the other hand, is more spread out. It has regions in North Africa, in parts of Iberia in Spain, and like I just mentioned previously, in Sicily as well. So there's plenty of room for expansion for both. Both are kind of, well, Carthage is more towards the extent of its empire where it was in history. Rome is sort of early history of Rome. It hasn't gone and created an empire like it did. It only has lands on Italian soil to begin with, so it'd be an interesting faction to start with Rome or Carthage really. Two different play styles. As of course a lot of you will know about the great Hannibal Barca and his war elephants and crossing over the Alps, and I'd love to play as Carthage because Hannibal is one of my favourite generals in history, and of course Rome, game being Rome of course. If I don't do a Let's Play of Rome on my YouTube channel, I will definitely do a Let's Play in my own sort of private Let's Play campaign. But they're the two main Mediterranean powers. So moving on, we'll talk a little bit about the Barbarians now. Now in Britain we have the Iceni tribe, which is sort of the southeast area of Great Britain. You'll know them from previous Rome Total War game. They have the Woad Warriors and the Slingers, and they have blue war paint, so they'll be an interesting tribe to play as, to try and conquer Britain, unite all of Britain under your banner, and then perhaps try and take on the rest of the world. So they'll definitely be one which would be interesting to play. Another one would be the Suebi tribe of Germania in the north, sort of modern day northern Germany, southern Denmark. I think that's roughly where they start. I think their capital is called Leferdum, so they'd be an interesting one as well, and they'll rely heavily on ambush tactics. Now they'd be definitely be one that I'm interested in, because one of my favourite battles ever, or should I say ambushes, was the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. So there'd be plenty of opportunities for ambushes on the campaign map. So they'd definitely be one which I would be interested in playing as well. And the third barbarian tribe, barbarian kind of faction, is the Averni, the Gauls. Now I will be honest, the Gauls don't really appeal to me as much as some of the other factions, but I think it'd be an interesting Let's Play, because where they start you can fight against the other Gaulish tribes, and perhaps the world is your oyster. I suppose you could go south and try and invade Italy, you could go east and try and invade some of the Germanic lands, you could go west and try and invade Iberia and parts of Spain, or you could go north and try and build up a fleet and try and take Britain. So I suppose there's plenty of room. They could go in either direction, the Averni tribe. So they're the first 5 factions which I've mentioned: Rome, Carthage, Iceni, Suebi and Averni. And now we'll move on now to some of the eastern factions in this game. So we have Macedon, the great empire of Alexander the Great, except this time Macedon isn't at its height like it was under Alexander, but I think it starts off with either 2 or 3 provinces. There should be an image on your screen right now, so you should be able to see how many they start with. They're definitely the biggest out of the Greek factions in the game. And I would be interested in Macedon because of the phalanx style. Certainly a style I'd like to try and play more as. I will be honest, in the original Rome, I preferred out the factions. I preferred sort of the Parthians or the Seleucids with sort of war elephants and archers. That's more my type of warfare in this kind of period of time. But that Macedon is definitely one which would appeal to me as well. Going further east, then we have Egypt, another faction. We've seen quite a lot of Egypt in the Battle of the Nile in the YouTube videos released by Creative Assembly and Rally Point, so they definitely a faction that I'd like to play as. They have changed slightly from the original Rome. They got more of a Hellenistic style to them. Their banners changed, their faction colour and banners changed as well. They're definitely one which I'd like to start with, and they do have quite a lot of starting provinces. I believe they got 5 or maybe 6 provinces they begin with. They're all landlocked as well, so it must be pretty easy to defend what you currently have. They have war elephants, and I think they have 2 wonders, so they've certainly got an awful lot going for them in that early period of the game. So they would be one to try, but I imagine they would be one of the easier factions. That's just my opinion. I don't know if they will be or not. We'll have to wait and see when the game is released, but yeah, that's definitely a faction that would appeal to me as well. I'll be honest with you, most of the factions do appeal to me, and whoever wins this faction vote is the faction I'm going to play as anyway. But yeah, you know, Egypt is definitely another one. Let's check my notes by here. We have Parthia. As some of you may have heard the term, the Parthian shot. They're masters of the bow. Yeah, they'd appeal to me as well. And another reason they would appeal to me is because this campaign map in Rome 2 is a lot bigger than the campaign map in Rome 1. So playing as an Eastern faction is going to be different anyway, because there's so many lands in the East to explore, new provinces which you haven't seen in the original Rome. So Parthia is another faction which would appeal. Pontus is another one. Maybe not so much Pontus compared to some of the bigger factions, the more known factions, but Pontus are in a unique position. I think, no, I can't quite remember exactly. If you bear with me 1 second while I check this little globe that I got here. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Pontus are not far away from the Black Sea, I believe, so they would be an interesting faction to begin as, because it could be a trading port there, it could be room for expansion. So Pontus would be another one. And then finally, because I've just mentioned those first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factions, the 8 original factions, and the free LC faction of Pontus. But because I've pre-ordered the game, pre-ordered Rome 2, it means I have the Greek city-state pack, the Greek culture pack. So we have 3 more factions to talk about. The first one is Epirus. It seems to me out of the 3 they are more cavalry based. I don't know an awful lot about Epirus. I know about, I think is it Epirus the Great? I don't think I pronounced that right. But I know that he invaded Rome. I think the prologue, the tutorial at the start of the game, is to do with that. I think it's to do with the how he invaded Rome. He won victory after victory, but they were costly victories. In the end, he had to retreat and go back to ancient Greece, and that's where the term Pyrrhic victory comes from. So Epirus would be one which I would look into as well as playing as. There's Athens. I think they are termed as Master of the Sea, so they'll have some naval benefits compared to the other Greek city-states. I think I'm not 100% sure, I think they start with, no, actually it's Epirus that starts with 2 provinces. I think Athens and Sparta both have 1 each. So Athens would be another one, and it'd be good to play a naval-based faction as well and try to dominate other factions using my ships and so forth. And the final faction then, this is Sparta. That's right, Sparta. I am a fan of the 300 movie, although I have taken interest in the real Battle of Thermopylae and the other events that took place with that war, and some of the other wars that Sparta fought in, like the Peloponnesian War. But Sparta definitely would be. They're at a big disadvantage early on in the campaign by the looks of it. They have one province. They have Macedon, Epirus, and Sparta and Athens all above them, and it looks like it'd be an interesting campaign with Sparta actually, because they don't have the naval strength of Athens, they don't have the provinces of Macedon or Epirus, but they do have some elite units, some great infantry, and they definitely would be a faction I'd enjoy to play. So this is pretty much it. This is the end of this faction vote video. So perhaps leave a like, leave a comment, let me know in the comment section which faction you would like me to play as when September comes, when Rome 2 is released, and thank you for watching this video. I've been Dragonheart. Until next time, goodbye.